and he's a physician and family medicine and occupational health consultant. He's the founder of Happiness Coin, it's lifestyle coaching, and he's an assistant professor for family medicine in Mohammed bin Rashid University of Medicine and Health Science. And also he published a book called Carpenter Door is Broken. In Arabic, it's a famous saying, Bab al-Najjar Mkhalla', okay. And he also wrote some chapters about positive psychology in the Middle East and North Africa. Dr. Mansour, thank you for being part of Emirates Steel Innovation Week. The mic is yours.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. السلام عليكم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه المنتجبين. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Hope all of you are well and safe, inshallah. It gives me a great pleasure to be part of your Innovation Week. I'm really excited about this topic, and we'll be taking you through a quick journey about innovation, well-being, the relationship between both of them, and how can we cultivate the same when it comes to our workplace. In the next second, I'll be sharing my screen, and I will ask my colleague Abdullah to help me in giving me some comments whenever I will ask you to participate in the chat. So you will be heavily involved in participating in the chat. There are some exercises in middle. So if there are interesting answers, Abdullah, you can open the mic and give me the answers, because unfortunately, when I'll be presenting the screen, I'll not be able to access the chat. So let's go on, and let me present my slides. Okay, can you see the full screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Now, when it comes to well-being and innovation, when I was approached by your team and they told me, let's talk about something relating well-being and innovation. So I was like, interesting. How can we bring these two words together? Are they really connected? And guess what? I was surprised and I was shocked when I came to know that they are so much interconnected with each other, to the extent that you don't know which one leads to which. Is more innovative workforce are having a good health and well-being? Or is it if somebody is practicing the proper well-being will become more innovative? So is it the chicken from the egg or the egg from the chicken? And interestingly, they both feed into each other. We would know more about that in the next few minutes, inshallah. But first, let me start with His Highness, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, our role model when it comes to innovation, our role model when it comes to well-being. Again, the success of our country, United Arab Emirates today, wouldn't happen with the collective efforts of everyone, but in specific with the leadership vision about embracing innovation, because they realize that when it comes to future, it only belongs to those who can imagine it, design it, and execute it. And this takes me to the introduction part, and then we will jump and deep dive into the well-being and innovation relationship. And eventually, the last 5 to 10 minutes, we will allow for question and answers if you have any queries as we go on. Let's start with a very important slide. Creativity and innovation. What's the difference? Are they the same? If I say you are creative versus you are innovative, does it mean the same or is it different? Are we seeing any answers in the chat, Abdullah? Try to use one word. What does creativity means to you? Versus innovation. If I'm saying you are creative, does that mean you're innovative and vice versa?
Manal Badawi, she says it's different. Creativity is different than innovation.
Are you sure? Let's see. Anyone who says they are the same, but they are used interchangeably.
Ayan Ahmed is saying creativity is thinking out of the box. Okay, just true.
Okay, and what about innovation? Thinking inside the box?
Innovation is bringing the idea to life, from Ayan.
Bringing the idea to life. Who would agree? So if I say I have an innovative idea, is this wrong? Because I'm talking about innovation and idea. We always say innovative ideas, but again, we also say creative ideas. We say innovative process, creative process. And then let's try to find out with this exercise. I'll just take you back to school days. Let's fill in the blank. Let's start with the first one. The idea to build a new bike is pickup. Is it creativity or is it innovation? The idea to build a new bike is what? Are we getting any answers in the chat?
It's Manal says creativity.
Okay.
Also Manoj says creativity.
Okay.
Mariam also creativity. Asila creativity. Yeah, most of the answers creativity.
And the actual production of it is?
Obviously. It's innovation. Actually.
Innovation.
Yeah.
And then let's go to the second one. Let's see if your answers are right or wrong. Saeed has ... process to complete tasks. Does he has creative process or innovative process?
Okay, Manoj says creative. Asila innovative. Mariam innovative. And Manal creative.
I like it. Now we are in difference, huh? So we are not agreeing. We'll come back to it. And then during a brainstorming session, Sultan was able to produce a ... idea.
Okay, Mariam says innovative.
Anil
innovative.
Okay.
And James, he's in the middle. He said it can be either.
Okay. Next one. New idea is equal creativity or innovation?
Okay, Mariam said creativity. James said innovation. Okay, and I say creativity.
Okay. And the last one, new way, a process to what do you call it? To convert .
Okay, Mariam says innovative.
I think I misplaced the slides. Let me share them again. Apology for that one. It's interesting. Let me then share the whole screen better. Okay. Now, can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, let me go quickly and try to find out if your answer is right or wrong. The idea to build a new bike is creativity. The actual production of it is innovation. Saeed has innovative process to complete task. During a brainstorming session, Sultan was able to produce a creative idea. New idea is equal creativity. New way process is equal innovation. So now I think things are much more clearer. Whenever we talk about creativity, we talk about ideas. The moment this idea gets executed into a process, into a product, into a service, it becomes an innovation. And here, there is a very simple analogy and comparison between both of them. I don't want to spend much time in this, but this is something for your reference so that it allows you, when you are in a discussion, to be more, let's say, accurate. See, creativity is the generation of idea, but innovation is the harnessing of these ideas to implement a process or a product. You might say, why do we need to know what's the difference if they are interchangeable? Fine, but it's all about trying to put the right things into the right perspective, because sometimes your idea, which becomes a product, let's say an iPhone, is an innovation. But if this product was something for the first time in the mankind, it will become an invention اللي يسمونه اختراع. فالinnovation أو الابتكار يسمونه اختراع في حالة إذا كان هذا الشيء لم يستخدم قبل. So it's fascinating, the whole concept of creativity and innovation. They go into each other. You sit, suddenly you think of an idea. Oh, we are at Emirates Steel. Why didn't we think of doing the process in this way? Why we are taking so much long for the production line and then our customer gets delayed and etc. Guys, let's do it this way rather than that way. This brainstorming is creativity. And the moment the process gets executed, that becomes an innovation. So if you look at it today, creativity and innovation is the heart of any successful organization. What do I mean? It is the main driver for you as a company to go to the next level. Today, you know, we have competition, صح ولا لا? Right? Today we are competing with other companies, we are competing with ourselves. We are always striving to do the best and to come with something different. And in United Arab Emirates, you know, the country wants always to be the best and the top rank. So creativity and innovation as a platform, as a driver, as a concept is very important to be embraced in the mindset of an organization. And we will come in a minute to talk how this becomes anchored in an organization. Because if you go to the work just for the sake of getting your salary and doing your daily tasks, this is a comfort zone. There is no challenge. There is no fun. There is no new ideas coming up. But if you are in a company where new ideas is there and you are given the chance to implement them, this is the beauty, because this will allow you even to become a better version of yourself. And here is something really cool. We found out in a lot of research, by the way, companies who allow their staff to be innovative, creative, you name it, they find out that these people who create and innovate are in a much better well-being state. So those people who are innovative and creative, they are more engaged, they are more positive in their mindset, they are more optimistic, and so on and so forth. So because when you innovate, when you create, you feel good about yourself that, wow, I did something different. I did something new. I like that. Let me do it more. And this puts you in a stage where you become fully immersed in work, what we call it the flow state. But before we go deep dive into well-being and the relationship with innovation, there is one big enemy, which if tomorrow I want to tell you guys, let's try to be creative and be innovative. You will tell me, okay, before that, we need to have the platform to allow us to be creative. We need some enablers, right? So there are some pillars. If they exist in the company, then you can move to the next level and practice innovation and creativity. Before I talk about these pillars, what do you think is the biggest enemy to innovation? Today you are in a company, Emirates Steel. What do you think, if this something is there every day, it will not allow you to be creative or innovative? It's in one word. 6 letters. What is it? Anyone wrote anything in the chat?
Amar, no, Rashid Muhammad says routine.
Fair.
Okay.
There is a stronger enemy, a more aggressive enemy than routine. Any further answers?
Okay, Mariam says resistance. She meant a resistance to change.
That's also one of the aspects, you're right.
And Ayan said comfort. When you are in your comfort zone, you don't need to do anything else. That's also an obstacle.
You are right. But the biggest obstacle we have to innovation is stress. Now you might tell me, doctor, I don't agree with you. The stress is good because when you are stressed out, you become fully alert and you are able to produce new ideas. You're right. So here we are not talking about the normal stress. We are talking about the abnormal stress. What do I mean by that? You go to the work in the morning, you have certain tasks based on your job description. Suddenly your line manager come and tell you, keep that aside, please execute for me this specific task, which is very urgent, required by the management. Fair. After a while, your colleague comes, oh, I am sick today, I'm not able to complete my day, please continue my tasks. After another 1 hour, another department comes, which you are working with them closely, and they tell you, we need your help in something. What will happen now? You will start getting into a stress situation. What do we mean by stress? It's a reaction. The more pressure from outside is on you, or even from inside, the pressure could be from inside. You feel you are not worthy. You feel you are not the best employee. You have negative thoughts. When these pressure pile up, it leads to stress. So when you are stressed out, and how does that happen? I will tell you in a minute. The first thing which happens to the brain gets shut down. It becomes filled with fog. يضبب عندك الدماغ، خلاص تقفل، مو دائما الحين نقول يوم انا متضايج اقفل. When you get locked, you cannot think differently. And as we said, if you want to be creative and innovative, you need to be in a safe environment where you can think differently. But if you are in a daily stressful situation, it will be very difficult for you to think in a different way. Here comes the answer. Doctor, there is every company, they have stresses every day. So what? We stop giving tasks? No. But when the tasks are meaningful, when you are as a line manager taking care of your team and dividing the tasks between them and bringing the best out of them without over bombarding them, this will make that pressure on them a positive pressure, which will allow them to bring the best out of them, and it will allow them also to be creative. Interestingly, the research has shown that it takes 6 seconds for the hormones from your brain to come down to your body when you are in a stressful situation. And after 6 seconds, you become in a different mode. You start feeling angry, or you will start feeling frustrated. You will start sweating. Your heart will start beating faster, and you will start thinking very tunnel and narrow vision, because with the stress, you will become tunnel and narrow visioned. You will not be able to think of anything else. You will start cursing and you will say, what's this company? They're just putting on me task and task and task and task. What is this? So you will be disengaged and you will be demotivated. And then there is no way you can foster or practice creativity or innovation if you are in that place. And eventually, if the stresses continues on you on a daily basis, which are irrational, you will end up resisting, you will end up in a comfort zone, and as you correctly said, the other obstacles which is related to innovation. And the ongoing exposure to stress leads to what? Your battery gets depleted. No more charge. And believe me, with this one, you cannot recharge yourself. And once you are out of charge, the last thing you will think of is to bring an innovative process or a creative idea. Because if you're exhausted and drained, the brain has no power to think of something else. The brain has no power to think outside the box. The brain has no power to do anything else. It will be only on the survival mode. And this leads us eventually to all those problems which is in front of you. I will not go through each problem in detail. I'm just giving you a little bit of a glimpse about it. So, what shall we do? How to feel good? If I am in a stressful situation, I'm not able to be innovative and creative, correct? How to minimize the stress? How to convert this stress into a positive one? How to create a workplace that will take care of my well-being? Because once my well-being is being taken care of, I will be more ready to think more clearly. I will be in a better shape because I will be less stressful. My mind will be clearer. And as we said, it's vice versa. The moment you feel good about yourself, you will become more innovative. The moment you become more innovative, you will feel much better about yourself, and the cycle will add to each other. But first, let's start today with the following scenario. I'm in an organization. Yes, they encourage us to be innovative and creative, but still that culture of innovation is not being deeply rooted in my company. Why? Because there are obstacles impacting my well-being, which will not allow me to reach to the creativity stage. So now let's think about it this way. I am here in stage 1, where I am given the opportunity, but I have obstacles around me, which is preventing me to climb the ladder and go to stage 2, where is the actual stage of complete creativity and innovation. What are these obstacles? What are these challenges which we should focus on when it comes to our well-being? And if we practice them, if we find out what are they, it will open the door for unlimited potential. And this is the most important slide, which I will take you through it. And it has 5 pillars of well-being. We will talk about each one of them because they are very important. And then obviously we will end up with a quote from His Highness, and then I will definitely open the floor for your questions and answers. Let's go through the main pillars of well-being, and definitely in each pillar, I would love to have your insights and your inputs. Of course, if it was a face-to-face interaction, it will be much more engaging, but I am hoping through the chat, we can get the best out of it. So let's go to our well-being enablers. As we said, 5. Let's start with the first one, health. Obviously, when we talk about health, we have physical health and we have mental health. Physical health. What does physical health has to do with my ability to be creative and innovative? Let's go back. Our mind and our body are connected with each other, as you know. And today, if you in your workplace are not given opportunities to be physically fit, then you will have pains in your body, you will be tired, you will always feel exhausted. And if your body is exhausted and feeling tired all the time, you will not be able to move to the stage 2 of creativity. When we talk about physical health, what do we mean? Exercise, sleep, food, water. Let's pick up the exercise. Again, I'll try to be skeptical. Doctor, here we go. You physicians, you will only tell us about physical activity and exercise. I don't have time. I'm very busy. We have a production line in the company. My line manager doesn't want me to waste time. And you're telling me about exercise. What's the added value of exercise? When we talk about exercise, we are not just talking about going to the gym. We are talking about movement in general. Am I practicing movement on a daily basis? Am I walking a lot? Am I doing some jogging, some paddle tennis? You name it. Am I moving? Why? Number 1, when you move, your body releases something called endorphins. What is endorphins? It is like a local anesthesia, مخدر موضعي. الجسم يفرزه. So when you move a lot, your body releases this endorphin, and the role of this endorphin is to reduce stress. The role of this endorphin to allow you to feel calm. The role of this endorphin allows you to be much more quiet, and you don't react quickly if there is a stressful situation in the workplace. How is that important? If you have enough of these endorphins in your body, it means that when you come the next day to the work, even if there is an encounter with a line manager or with a team member about something and it becomes a very tough discussion, you will be calm. You will not be triggered very quickly. And the more calm you are, the less stressful you are, the more is your brain clear, which means your brain did not waste all the energy in this encounter or in this argument. There is still energy left. There is still a space left in your brain for creativity and innovation. But imagine, for those who do not move, they don't have any deposit of endorphins. So they fall very quickly in the trap of stress. And then they feel agitated. They will drive the car fast. If they are a smoker, they will increase their smoking, their coffee. They will go into inappropriate behavior. You might go into a fight with your family member, and so on and so forth. This is one aspect of exercise, which is the endorphin. Another aspect of exercise, the research has showed that the brain makes new connections when you exercise and when you move a lot. What do we mean by new connections? You know, the brain is made up of millions and millions of cells, and they talk to each other. It's like a pathway. The more you exercise, the more your cells speak to each other in the brain. And what we have found, when there are more pathways and more connections between your brain cells, your ability to be creative is more, because you'll be able to think differently. This is exercise. Next, sleep. Today, let's be realistic. Are we getting enough sleep, guys? Do we get quality sleep? Oh, doctor, come on, you know, the gadgets, and we have a lot of tasks to be done, and we finish late, and we, etc. Sleep is the best brain massage activity. It is where your brain gets massaged. It is where your brain gets rid of old cells, etc. So when you have a proper sleep, the next day, definitely your brain will be in a better shape to think creatively and to be more innovative. But today, we take sleep for granted, unfortunately. And I'm one of them. I'll be frank with you. Even as physicians, we struggle and we tell people, but when it comes to proper sleep, that this needs a discussion by itself. Next, after sleep, water. How many glasses of water do you drink today? Do you know that our brain swims in water, because our body 70% is water, and our brain needs this water swimming pool around it to be able to function. But the challenge today, if we see at our workplace how many water we are drinking, how many glasses, it will be very less than the recommended 8 glasses, or depending on your age, your weight, and etc. Our water intake. No, but doctor, I'm drinking a lot of juices and coffee and mochaccino and cappuccino. No, that does not help. It has to be pure water. And the beauty of water, it has no calories. So if you're worried about being overweight, don't worry, you will not become overweight, because there is no calories in the water. So this is physical health. I'm just taking part of the physical health, even not the whole thing, just to give you a flavor how our physical health is related to our well-being, to our creativity and innovation. Let's go to mental health, and this is very important. Today, what is the biggest distraction we are having? Shuraik Abdullah, what is the biggest distraction?
Social media, of course.
Definitely. Before social media, mobile phones.
Mm-hmm.
Notification. Now that I'm talking, how many of you looked at their phone and checked their SMS? Or maybe now I'm talking, you are still WhatsApping and you're talking and you're messaging and you're checking how many likes you got on a picture you put yesterday. The distractions from notifications from the mobile phone is one of the biggest mental challenges to our brain. No, doctor, I'm a multitask. I can do so many things at the same time. No, there is nothing called multitask, by the way. It's a myth. The moment you look at your social media or at your phone, your brain switches to something else. When you come back again to your task, again, your brain will switch to the task. You're not doing 2 tasks at the same time. You are flipping your mind from one task to another. This flipping movement takes out energy from your brain. So imagine, the more you are doing this distraction in a day, the more you are challenged. Today, as you can see, even some of the phones have an option called focus, where they have do not disturb option or work option, where no notification will show up. But sometimes what happens, we have OCD. We are obsessed. Let me check. Maybe I got a message. No, let me check again. Maybe I got an email. This is the biggest challenge we are having against creativity and innovation. You might say it's not easy. Come on, let's be realistic. We need our phones. Yes, you're right. But if you have decided to foster a culture of innovation and creativity, you can assign 1 hour in a day or half an hour in a day where you don't touch your phone at all. You put it upside down, you put it on silent, you name it, so that at least within that period, you might be able to come up with a new idea. Tomorrow, if you decided to do a brainstorming session, you know, many companies do brainstorming session when they want to introduce a new service or a new product. The first thing you should do, put all the phone outside the room. Otherwise, there is no added value of this brainstorming session. Other than this distraction from the phone, do we practice mindfulness? I know there has been a lot of talk about mindfulness and meditation and yoga and etc. Let us keep that aside. It will all depend from one culture to another, from one environment to another. For some, our prayers are the best recharge stations for us to focus. For others, it's meditation, yoga, mindfulness, etc., etc. The idea that I'm trying to reach to, you need to disconnect for a few minutes in a day, or make it a habit of disconnecting. Will you be surprised if I tell you, I was reading research very recently, and it was mentioned that if you take a walk on the beach or in a garden without your phone, and you just let your brain think right and left without any focus, they call it wandering or wandering, depends on how you explain it. This exercise, this kind of activity, this kind of practice allows you to come up with new ideas. You might say, no, I am not wasting, I don't want to waste my time. I want to focus. You're saying to us, focus. No, sometimes when you over focus, you're not able to come up with new ideas. That's why sometimes they say new ideas comes only in the bathroom. Sorry to say that, but this is one of the realities. Why? Because in the bathroom you're singing, or you're whatever you're doing, or you're just enjoying the water, and suddenly a new idea clicks in. Why I didn't think about that this way? And sometimes notice, many of the times when you wake up for the Fajr prayer, or if you wake up early morning, you feel your brain is much clearer in the morning. And sometimes you come up with ideas which you never thought about. Because as I said, with the sleep, you get serviced, your brain is clear, you are not being distracted. But unfortunately, today, the first thing we do when we open our eyes, we pick up our phone and we look at the notification. Distraction, brain energy is gone. So it's all about practicing a habit. Another thing about mindfulness or about mental well-being is about being able to think differently, to look at the world, to مثل في القرآن يقول لك أفلا يتفكرون. Are we thinking about around us? When you look at the grass, when you look at the bird eating or standing on a piece of a grass, I'm just trying to give you small ideas where when you look deeper into the universe, you realize that this is amazing. The universe has such an amazing way. Another aspect of mental well-being, playing with your kids or playing with your nephews or nieces or with your younger ones, because kids have open mind. And you might learn so many things with them and thinking differently rather than a specific type of thinking. Let's move on to the next one. I spent a little bit more time on the physical, on the health. Let's go to social well-being, employee engagement. What do we mean? Today, if you are in the company disengaged and you are not feeling valued and you are not being taken care of and your loan manager doesn't take care of you, and if you don't know what's your job description, and if you don't have the right, then you will have a huge challenge to be creative and innovative. Because it has been found employees who are engaged, they are more flexible, they are more innovative, they are more loving their job, and they go into a state of flow. Have you heard about the state of flow before? What do we mean by flow? Flow is a state where you become so indulged into your work that even if you spend 2 to 3 to 4 hours in that task, when you're done with the task, you're not feeling tired. Have you ever come across this? It happens, but very rare. Because when you're enjoying literally what you are doing and you are passionate about it, this allows you to go into a flow state. And this happens if you're engaged. But today, in our workplaces, are we really engaged? Or do we just come to tick a box and do our tasks and leave? I'll share with you in a minute, very quickly, few parameters related to employee engagement. There are so many different tools that you can use in the workplace to measure engagement. I'm sure you might have your own tool, but this is just to give you an idea that if you do not have a proper employee engagement culture or a proper platform of employee engagement, and if you have disengaged employee, forget about being innovative and creative. An example of these questions is very quickly, again, this is just an example. Do you know what is expected of you at your work? If you ask yourself today as a colleague, as a staff, some of you have been in Emirates Steel for so many years, correct? Some of you are new joiners. Some of you have been 4 years, 5 years, and you name it. Do you know what is expected of you at your work today? Do you have the materials that will help you? Do you have the opportunity to do your best every day? Did your line manager praise you in the last 7 days? Does your opinion count? I will not go through all the questions, but this is just to give you a glimpse. If we have a workforce where they are able to be engaged, then this will allow us to be more innovative. You know why? Because with innovation and with creativity, you exchange ideas, correct? If you are not an engaged workforce, you will not exchange ideas because there will be jealousy, there will be bullying, there will be backbiting, and you will never share your idea because, yes, I will share my idea, somebody else will take it, they will steal it, they will get the credit. Why shall I share my idea? These insecurities happens if you are in a disengaged environment. But if you have that trust relationship with the staff, with your line manager, with your team member, you will be able to share ideas because you know nobody will step on each other. We are not here to shine on top of each other. We are here to complete each other. We are a team. We are not against each other. And it needs a lot of maturity, by the way. It's one of the most difficult tasks in any workplace to reach that level of maturity, of trust among team members to become creative and innovative. And it's very important. Why this pillar is very important? Because it's a key component to allow people to go to the next level and be creative and become innovative. Because when you know that your opinion counts and you know that if you bring a new idea, it gets implemented, you will always be in a positive mindset mode where the moment you innovate and it gets implemented, you will feel good about yourself. The moment you feel good about yourself, you will become more innovative and it will go on. It will feed into each other. Let's move to the third pillar, career well-being, performance and growth. Today, let me ask you a very key question. What's your career pathway in Emirates Steel? Where do you see yourself down the line 5 years? Is there a growth opportunity? Because to be innovative and creative, you need to have that pillar of the ability to grow, to learn, to indulge. Because the only way we become creative, innovative, if we like what we are doing and we start learning and reading more about it and finding different ways to think about it, because reading helps a lot. I am fascinating about the manufacture of the steel in Emirates Steel, the process that it goes through, the melting of the iron, you name it. I'm not very expert in the process that you're going through in Emirates Steel, but you might capture on one process and deep dive in it. Why? Because you know that if you will become innovative in that, there is a career ladder, there is a growth opportunity for you. And then how this is linked to your performance. Am I given the opportunity that a percentage of my performance and KPI is linked to be innovative and creative? So when there is career well-being as an enabler, as a pillar, it will allow you to move on to a more creative and an innovative workforce. So far, we have talked about 3 important pillars that should be there in your workplace. And if it's not there, or if it's there at a low level, you can enhance it, because without these enablers, it's very difficult for you to become innovative and creative. So the first pillar, we said health. The second pillar, we said social well-being or employee engagement. The third pillar, we talked about career well-being. Let's go to the fourth pillar, community well-being, having a purpose. Can I ask you a question? Why do you wake up in the morning? I know if you are face-to-face, you will give me different answers. All this talent that we have, all this skills that we have, that God has put in us, is it just to go work and do our job and come back and get the salary at the end of the month and enjoy the bonus and spend it in a nice car and travel? There is nothing wrong with that. But is this the value of a human being? What's my purpose? What's my purpose towards my society? What's my purpose towards my environment? Today, if I am purposeful and I know that I have a duty against my environment where I need to take care of climate change or plastic use or recycling, whatever, This will allow me to be more innovative and creative when I manufacture the steel or go through the various processes, so that the waste and etc. can be recycled, manufactured again, can be reused, you name it. If I'm purposeful towards my society, and I know that I have responsibility towards my society, my innovative and creative ideas will allow me to create a cheap steel or something which is very quickly ready-made. So this might allow people to build houses very quickly, or companies to flourish in the country. So, you know, when my compass is not just come to work to get a salary and execute and be in my comfort zone, and that I have a bigger purpose. One is towards my society, another is towards my environment, third is towards myself. I need to grow, I need to learn, I need to take myself to the next level. في مقولة بقولها باللغة العربية بس ما أعرفها بالإنجليزي كيف يقولونها: وتحسب أنك جرم صغير وفيك انطوى العالم الأكبر. You think you are just a small piece in this world and universe? No, 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 no. The whole world is inside you. You might say, oh, that's very nice of you, doctor, very motivational, very good, I like it. And after 2 days, you will forget all of that. You'll go back to your comfort zone and backbiting and etc. And this could happen. It's natural. We go back to our habit. We go back to our comfort zone. But today, when I look to my environment, when I look to my society, it allows me to give a bigger purpose, that even if I don't get promoted, it's okay. I will wait because I feel I can add value to the society or to my environment. You know, we look at the bigger picture rather than just only myself. I'm not saying you stay in your position 10 years without promotion. No, no, don't take me mistakenly, but I'm trying to put things into different perspective. The last point and the last important pillar is intellectual well-being, the passion and the mindset. Do you have a positive mindset? Do you have an optimistic mindset? Do you have a curious mindset or a judgmental one? No, this will not work. No, 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 no. This process will not happen this way. We never used to do it this way. We will keep on doing it that way. Have you tried? Where is curiosity? If you are judgmental, you will never innovate. You should be curious and keep asking and asking. How can we do it differently? How can we do it? Why we are doing it? Look at the children today. They'll ask you a million questions until you get fed up and you tell them, Yalla ma'a salama, bye-bye, enough. Daddy, why is the moon up? Why is the sun yellow? And etc. Curious. Because this will allow you to make new connections in the brain. This will allow your mindset to be a mindset of ongoing search for innovation. Passion. Are you passionate about your job? It's been many years. Find out that passion. Don't tell me you don't have a choice. Go and try to find that out. If you're not comfortable wherever you are, you always have a choice to do things differently, or you have other choices. There is nothing called that I cannot do things differently. Try to find out what makes you passionate. Today, when I'm talking to you, I'm passionate about this topic. So you can see the energy level. And I'll make sure that even after 5 years, I'll talk with the same energy level. Why? Because we need to practice what we preach, and we need to believe in it. We need to be consistent in it. And one day it will open up. It might take 1 year, 2 years, because patience is the essence. So passion is a very important catalyst that will allow you to become innovative, to be creative, because you will keep on searching and learning. 5 important pillars, which I believe will allow us to create a platform in our workplace that will make it easier for us to be more innovative and to be more creative. If you don't have a gym membership today, maybe you might think of having a gym membership or opening a fitness center in your company, or healthy snacks. These are quick win. But what I'm trying to say, we need to have the leadership buy-in. It has to come from the top. We need to have a holistic approach. Yeah, I'm giving my staff mental support and I'm giving them a helpline. That's not enough. That's good. But in addition to giving a mental helpline, you are fostering engagement, you are anti-bullying, you are practicing civility, you are having a purpose, you are allowing your people to make mistakes. You will never become innovative, creative if you don't make mistakes, calculated mistakes, I mean, because it's a learning. Have a lab in your company where people let them try the bulb light. And Edison, I'm sure everyone knows the story. He tried 99 times, I don't know how, 1,000 times until it fitted. I'm not saying to go to that. Today we have expenses, we have cost, we have shareholders, we are a company producing to the country. But what I'm trying to mean is that if we will have a blame culture, if we will have, if somebody fails, I don't like to call it fails. If it didn't work out, allow it to try it again. So take care of the physical and mental well-being of your colleagues. Ensure as much as you can to foster engagement opportunities. Let them have a clear job description and a career pathway. Create that purpose in you as an individual, because at the end of the day, it's not the HR responsibility, it's not your manager responsibility to create everything for you. You also as an employee have responsibility to take the step and to take the proactive step that even if there are no enablers, you try to cultivate these enablers. Here, we are not throwing the blame to any one of us. It's a collective effort. And then don't forget also about your purpose, the community well-being, your intellectual well-being. And with this, I would like to end by saying we may not live for hundreds of years, but the products of our creativity can leave a legacy long after we are gone. I will end up the presentation now, and I will open the floor for any questions, any answers, any comments.
Thank you a lot, Dr. Mansour. We'll be waiting for any questions if there is any right now.
Sure. Any comment, any feedback you would like to throw in, please go ahead. Again, it's a journey, it's a change in habit, it's a change in the mindset. And I'm sure you already have many of these tools and enablers in your workplace, but it's all about revising them, enhancing them, and allowing for more voices to come out so that you're able to pick up in any idea, because there is nothing called a stupid idea or a not worth it idea. I wish, inshallah, next time we'll have it face-to-face, because, you know, when it's face-to-face, it's more engaging. But again, I think one of the outcomes of COVID is to allow us be innovative and creative and think different ways of reaching each other. Subhanallah. بعض الأحيان يقول لك الحاجة هي أم الاختراع. Sometimes it's the needs, and when we are pressurized, we bring the best out of us. So the reason behind this session today is that even if you're not in need and if you're not pressurized, you still can be creative and innovative, provided you have created the right condition around you. Okay, here I think there is a question from James. How much do you need to reward and recognize those colleagues that go the extra mile to change behavior in a positive way? That's a very good question. I think rewarding and recognition is also an important part of your career well-being, and to fix and to complete the jigsaw puzzle, because at the end of the day, as humans, we like to be rewarded. We like to be recognized. And here is an important point. We don't need to create jealousy out of the rest. The reward should be an encouraging reward, not to tell that he is better than you. You just say that this has been rewarded because he helped to come up with something different. And we would encourage many people. So it's more about sharing stories of success, rather than creating a jealousy. Yes, a little bit of competition is good. Don't take me mistakenly. But we don't want to create also silos, because somebody who came with a creative idea and was rewarded, and if I go to him and ask him, how did you come with this idea? Can you tell me? Then I will feel insecure. No, I'll not tell you because you might steal my idea. No. It's not about stealing ideas or stealing innovations. When we have trust, If I come and ask you, you should happily tell me, yes, I did it this way and that way. You know what? I can help you. How about if we add this component to this product or to this service, we can enhance it. مثل ما أقول لك يعني two brains is better than one, as they say. But provided there is no jealousy, there is no hidden agenda. Because if my hidden agenda is to take the idea and then brag it about myself, then that doesn't serve the purpose. Then we are worse than kids. The whole idea should be the collective approach. So yes, rewarding should be done, but it should be done authentically, and it should be done to foster a role modeling so that this culture of innovation propagates across the company.
Okay, Dr. Mansour, I just have one question, maybe outside of the scope of innovation.
Sure, tell me.
So my question is how to fight the addiction to social media and maybe using our smartphones. I'm sure you know that by time using these platforms allow us to get some sort of dopamine in our brains. Okay.
Correct.
And how to fight that, and how to get dopamine from our work. I'm not going to say I'm trying to be workaholic, but how to stop this addiction?
Very good question, Abdullah. Now, the dopamine, which is the reward pathway hormones that gets released in your body when you do something and you get rewarded, for example, a like or a good comment on your feed in social media, it's very, very rewarding and it's very addictive. Now, one aspect about addiction, it needs to start with small steps. For example, it's my choice to switch off the notification of the messages to come on my screen. That's step number one. Step number two, I put a board or some kind of a statement in my house where I will write, today for 20 minutes, I'll not use the phone. It's like a testimonial in front of everyone else. So you keep your phone in a basket or something and you don't use it. It will be very difficult, like withdrawal symptoms, like when you stop smoking or when you stop addiction. It is very, very, it will eat your hand because you want to go and check. When you sleep, how many of you put the phone next to their head? I think all of us, if not most of us. How about we put the phone? No, I'm using it as an alarm. No. We can use different things for alarm. Put the charger in another wall so the phone is far away from you. Tire you, make it difficult. Make it an effort to check the results. I'll give you another example. There is an option in the iPhone. It's called Do Not Disturb. When you activate it, not a single notification comes to you unless you switch off the Do Not Disturb. So it needs a proactive measure. And also you need to tell people around you. For example, you tell your wife or your husband or your friends, by the way, I will start doing this one. Please help me and do not let me do that or do this. You know, when you're stopping smoking, you will tell them, please do not give me the cigarette or stay away from people who are smoking. It's very difficult. But the idea is that you need to start with small steps. And because today we are in an illusion that if I did not check my phone for half an hour, something major will happen and something disaster will happen. No, nobody's gonna die. It's a mental trick that is happening on our brain. So you need to take proactive steps, tell the people around you, and to replace that with work, rather than I would say becoming workaholic, try to find fulfillment in your work. Because if you do something and you know this will have a purpose or it will help somebody in the society, it will give you another hormone, another substance called serotonin, not dopamine. Because serotonin is long lasting, it will make you feel good. And one way to make you feel good is especially when you give to society and when you give back. Because when you take, this is dopamine. Dopamine is all about taking and taking and taking. It will make you feel good, but it will go away and then you want more. But when you stop your desire, when you control it, when you give back, when you do it lillah fi lillah, I know today we need our salaries, but when I do it and I know that I'm serving a humanity or my God, I'm doing my things is the best, that fulfillment feeling is more lasting and it is not addictive, similar to dopamine. Obviously, this addiction topic is very fascinating. We can always talk hours and hours about it, and there are so many different tricks that we can go ahead with. But due to the limitation of the time today, these are some of the quick tips, is that you need to start with yourself, because we always wait for someone to tell us how to stop it, but we can do it ourselves, but we don't want to, because it's addictive, as you said. It's tasty to, I haven't posted something for a while. Let me post so that I get some of the likes I boost my dopamine level. It's been low for many days. So, you know, this, because the way the psychology of the social media, they have went into our brain to try to use this approach of why it's red color, the like, because red color, it attracts. It could be in a different color. It will be less attractive.
Thank you a lot, Dr. Mansour. We just have a comment here from James. There is a great way to turn your smartphone screen to black and white. It's going to be less addictive to look at, which is true. It's all about let's say the user experience, how to get people addicted to these features or the interface.
See, even if you do it 5 minutes in a day or 10 minutes once in a weekend, don't, because you know, if you will keep on doing it, it's like the gym. I will go to the gym. After 2 weeks, you will leave the gym. The same thing. You will say, I will not use the phone. Believe me, then you will come back worse than before. Try to make small changes and make them once in a week or twice in a week, and then gradually build up on it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Mansour, to be part of our innovation talks here in Emirates Steel. And hopefully one day we will host you here physically. Okay, so we can get more engagements from our employees. Thank you a lot, Dr. Mansour. Any last message you want to convey?
I would like again to thank the whole organizing team at Emirates Steel for the session today. It was really engaging, and as you said, inshallah, we will have face-to-face in the near future once things gets better. And again, I'm wishing you all the best, inshallah. At the end of the day, we are all humans. We have same desires, we have same needs, same wants. Jealousy goes and comes, envy goes and comes. But if we try to look at it from a collective, from a cooperation perspective, from a teamwork approach, like the football team, if the defense doesn't pass the ball to the attack, they will never win. If the middle doesn't go back to help the defense, they will lose. So we need to stop working in silos because of competing. Let's complete each other by helping each other and think of it as a football team at the end of the day. Thank you so much again. And inshallah, hopefully we meet up in similar other occasions. And apology for any delay from my side, or if there is any other questions or comments that you would like, you can always maybe send it to Abdullah and then he can send it across to me. And again, thank you for your valuable time. مشكورين ويعطيكم ألف عافية على جهودكم.
Thank you دكتور منصور. مشكور ما تقصر.
مع السلامة. يعطيكم العافية.